So I mentioned there was two different Detroit Pistons that they're going to be heavily reliant upon come playoff time. The first of those is Duncan Robinson, who just has some incredible splits here on losses versus wins for the Pistons. They've been so reliant on him this season to where in their wins, he's shooting 43% from behind the arc. In their losses, he's shooting 31%. The Pistons, when he hits 3 threes, are 30-6. And when he doesn't, they're 12-7, slightly above average. Still above average, but man, when he hits 3 threes, they win. When he doesn't, it's not a guarantee. That's a player they're going to be heavily reliant upon. That's also a player that a different team has relied upon him, and he got schemed out of being in playoff series. Now he's I think a stronger mentally player than he was when he was with Miami, but he's just such an automatic foul on defense that teams will hunt him and try to get him out of the game because he's going to be in foul trouble. And if he does get into foul trouble, like I just think the Pistons are going to have such a hard time overcoming him not being able to play because they don't have another spot-up shooter to run off-ball stuff with and shoot threes at a high volume.
Yeah, and it would just be such a detriment if it was back-to-back years of, like, your elite three-point shooter just not performing in the playoffs. Like, if Duncan has to show up, and it's that simple. And it sucks that, like, he basically is the X factor that decides a lot of the Pistons' success in the playoffs, which, I mean, you could say now if he's not knocking down shots, I mean, he's not on the floor. But you have to keep him out on the floor just for the threat of a three-pointer. They don't have
another. At least with Beasley, they had Tim Hardaway Jr. as well last year. Like, they had two guys.
Yeah.
This year, they only have one guy.
And yet they still shot terribly from deep in the playoffs last year. So, like, a lot of it does rely on Duncan. Obviously, you want some other guys to step up too, but it definitely is putting a lot on a guy's plate who is just simply a role player.
It makes me a little nervous. I think it should make every Pistons fan a little bit nervous that they're that reliant on Duncan come the playoffs when mismatches get exposed a little bit more and teams are a little bit more willing to hunt the worst guy on the floor defensively.
They got red velvet, though, you know?
Do they? I think that guy died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Now it's just
Kevin
Herter.
when they were calling him that in the Atlanta days. Yeah.
Kevin H.
Yeah. Not Kevin G.
No, not Kevin G. By the way, the other person I was mentioning was Tobias, who, like, man, how many different teams can you be like, hey, how did Tobias playoffs work out? And they'd be like, oh, man. The Sixers would come to mind, and they would tell you, like, nah, didn't work out. Don't be reliant upon him. But I would tell you he was pretty good in last year's playoffs. I liked the way he played. I thought he brought it against Cat defensively. It was some of the best defense I've ever seen Tobias Harris play. Hit some nice, like, big-time shots as well. But, like, not ultimately a guy that I'm like, okay, if Cade's not cooking one night or they're taking him away, plan B, Tobias Harris. I'm not all that excited about that either. And it sounds like I'm so pessimistic towards this team after this show, but, like, I'm not. I still think there should be favorites in the East, but it's not like there's some bulletproof team by any stretch. These are the big concerns in a playoff series.
I mean, that's why we're having these conversations, because despite them being the best team in the NBA, like, there's a reason why the rest of the league still views some of these other teams in the East as just the biggest threats, I guess you could say, in the East. But for Tobias, yeah, I'm totally with you. Like, he was great in the playoffs last year. Just from, like, what I expected from Tobias Harris, I expected him to be terrible because he's just been a bad playoff performer in his last couple years leading up to that series with Detroit. It was always like hopefully Tobias can help the Pistons get to the playoffs. And then by the time they're there in real series, he's not on the team anymore. And then it was like, oh, crap, they're in the playoffs year one with Tobias Harris, and now they're about to be the 1 seed. And like you said, he brought it against the Knicks. That's kind of his thing, though. He brings it against specific guys and teams. If it's not the Knicks, then is he going to? You know, I don't necessarily know, but I'm excited either way.
Yeah. Who would you be, like, who's more likely to let Pistons fans down in the playoffs? Is it Duncan Robinson or is it Tobias? I think it's probably Duncan.
It's Duncan, just because of the horrors of last year. You know, like, Malik Beasley was an insanely good three-point shooter for Detroit, and he left on the biggest sour note possible. Was terrible in the playoffs, couldn't hit a three, dropped the pass that basically, you know, like, would have hit the three to tie the game, and said he just let it go out of bounds. And then it finds out he's gambling on games, and he's no longer on the team. Like, so for that to happen again.
The 1 3 he hit in Game 6, I thought my head was going to explode.
I thought that was the Hardaway three.
No, he hit one, too.
Oh, okay.
That was just as much like that when he started skipping down the court. That was
Game
2,
yes, I know the Beasley one you're talking about.
That was Game 3.
Yes.
The Beasley one right before halftime, I think it was a buzzer beater, right wing, That one,
I remember the skip.
yeah. He got pretty hot.
But
there.
if it was another time in the playoffs where your elite high volume 3-point shooter didn't show up in the playoffs, I mean the criticism is going to totally come down on him. And he's the Michigan guy too.
Yeah.
You know, like you add that into it, everything. Like he has a lot of connection with everyone.
It feels like the odds of the Pistons surviving 3 straight playoff rounds of no team being like, you know what we should do? Hunt Duncan Robinson. The odds of 3 straight rounds of no team thinking that just seem incredibly low. Like one of these teams is going to figure it out of, let's just, whoever he's guarding, get a switch and attack him and get him into foul trouble because he's a walking foul on defense, and then he's not in the game and the Pistons don't have a single shooter.
Yeah, it's just like the odds of Tom Izzo and the Spartans going 4 straight rounds in the tournament of like, wait, why don't we just play 2-3 zone the entire game?
You're saying an opponent?
Yeah, exactly. Like the odds of that seem pretty low too, you know?
Yeah. Although I feel like Sparty doesn't play as many zones as you would think they do. I just think teams
That's
don't
what I'm
practice
saying.
zones.
You don't have to against them, man.
Yeah.
You could have not practiced it all year. This is your 8th grade 2-3 zone that you ran. You remember that? You know, you got to shift over a little bit when the ball gets swung around. It would work.
But with Duncan, there's not like a practice element of it. It's just like by game 2, it's just like, oh yeah, bring that guy to me, and whoever, like whether it's Brunson, whether it's
totally.
whether it's Paolo, whoever they end
you're
up
playing Harden or Mitchell, you're playing Maxey. Like it's just that's going to be, of course, the guy they look to go at for multiple reasons. Like one, because he's just the worst defender on the floor, and 2, because you want to get him in foul trouble because he's such a good 3-point shooter,
and it won't be hard. And the reason you don't see him get in foul trouble every night is because it's the regular season. You're not going to necessarily scheme your way. Like you don't have as intensive a game plan as you do when you see a team over and over and over and over again. And it's a little bit more on the coaches to expose weaknesses through your game plan. Once you get into the playoffs, and that's an element of it, if I'm playing the Pistons, it's, hey, we're going to make Cade work to even cross half court. Once he gets half court, we're basically face guarding him. We're double teaming him off of every pick and roll, and we're going to hunt Duncan Robinson on defense. Like, the Pistons are so tough. They're not like this unsolvable. Like how you beat them is fairly simplistic. It's just a matter of do teams have the personnel to be able to execute it? You know what I mean? Like you and I sitting here watching Pistons games can tell you how to beat the Pistons. We just did. It's just a matter of what team actually has the personnel to execute it. I would say the Celtics do. The Cavs, in terms of getting him into foul trouble, Duncan absolutely do. I still don't think they can really slow the Pistons down defensively just because.
And like, I mean, let's just be frank. The Cavs are just like, they're just weak, man.
Yeah.
Like they have these, they're soft. Like they have this great big man duo that has just gotten bullied in the last couple years in the playoffs.
And James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, it's just like, James Harden defense, okay. Who's he guarding?
Yeah, wait,
on the
does
Pistons?
James Harden, is he going to decide to shoot the basketball in this year's playoffs? I don't really know.
And Donovan Mitchell, like
Mitchell's a really good
small.
playoff player, though. Like
he's an incredible playoff player,
Yeah,
but he's
exactly.
just really small on the floor. He's like 6'2". Yeah, maybe. So yeah, like the Cavs are a different thing, but you look around and I'd say the Celtics have the best personnel in terms of like hunting Duncan and slowing down Cade, multiple options.
But then they
to
have
throw at him.
Vucevic as their center and Neemias Queta.
He's killed the Pistons.
Well, yeah, when he was good, like
Vuce, yeah,
he sucks now. You know, like I'm just like every time we name one of these teams, you're like, yeah, that might be the team because they can go at Duncan with this guy. Then I just flip it around and be like, okay, yeah, how are they stopping Duren? You know, how are they stopping Cade? Like, so that's just a tough part of trying to balance this with the Pistons. Of you and I could sit here and draw up the formula, the secret recipe of how to beat the Pistons. It's not that big of a secret.
I was just going to say it's not a
but
secret
also,
at all. It's just a matter of executing
the teams that are doing it just continue to lose to the Pistons. You know, like why can't they?
But it's not like it's the regular season right now. They're not as focused on that game plan.
Why would you not be? I mean, like this is a team you're gonna have to beat in the playoffs to go to the finals. Like,
but you know this. Like that's just not how NBA teams approach regular season
I know.
games.
I mean, I don't know. I think they do to an extent.
You're right to an extent, but like the preparation and
you're not playing them 7 times in a row in the regular season. Yeah,
right. I will like as I go back and forth with Orlando because they've looked all goofy all year, but like they got the guys that throw at Cade and the size and the toughness. But
give me Orlando, man. That team is just a bunch of losers. I mean, Banchero is your star. Like Desmond Bane's the one guy I'm a little worried about. because he seems to go. I mean, but like he's
kind of vicious.
I say he gets into it with beef stew, and it's we're good. We're good.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show live here on